You know, I've got in my hand one of the hottest new finesse baits around. It's a Neko rig or Neko rig. You know, pretty standard rigging on this thing is just a little above the egg sac. That's what you're gonna see most guys fishing this bait as, and it's a perfect way to fish it around cover, around docks, even in deep water. But the great thing about a Neko rig is the position of that pivot point changes the action of the bait. The other two ways that we can fish the same Neko rig is by sliding that clear VMC O-ring really far up toward the top. My favorite way to do it is I like to call it about 3/4 of the way up the bait or away from the weight. And by doing that, you get a totally different action on that Neko rig. And the best way I can describe it is you get more of a tail weighted action where that thing slides backwards. It almost gets this really rapid backward glide. So in certain situations, getting it under docks, getting more of a reaction bite, it's a great way to rig it 3/4 of the way up, away from the weight. The other way that we can rig that pivot point is we'll get that same VMC clear O-ring, and instead of getting right above the egg sac, now we're gonna go down almost all the way to the end of the bait. And if you look at it, we're just maybe 10% away from being at the tip of that weight. And now when we rig that, we have yet another totally different action. And this one is great for real long horizontal movements, making a long cast, letting it sink to the bottom, and getting on these long drifts where you just shake your rod tip. When you look at it rigged like that, that weight is still going to be on the bottom, but look how much more action you have at the head of the worm. So those extended twitching motions, that bait is constantly shaking and moving, but yet it's staying on the bottom. Alternate your pivot point. Change it up from going high to low, get different actions out of the bait. Try it, I guarantee you're going to catch more fish in certain situations.